Y'all get ready?
Yes, you get ready.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Hey tea sippers, I hope you guys are doing good today. So a lot has been going on, and I know I've gotten a lot of requests to talk about the job market, and what's currently happening. So if you guys do not know, in just the past month, over 260 tech workers have been laid off in just the past few months. Companies like Microsoft, Google, Amazon have basically gotten rid of a lot of positions. On top of that, they are replacing a lot of people's jobs with AI, which we've been talking about forever on this channel. As of yesterday, John Deere quietly replaced thousands of people, just fired them. And so this is all over the news. On top of that, LinkedIn is also firing people. How is the company that's in charge of finding folks jobs, how are they now suffering layoffs? So these layoffs are getting really crazy. But I think one of the most disturbing things about these layoffs, like I told you guys a few months ago, a family member of mine who was a black female, she was laid off a few months ago, and she's still trying to find work. It is really hard out here. And so now people are realizing that a lot of black women are getting laid off from their corporate jobs and other positions as well. And so it has been noted that over 350,000 black women have literally been laid off since June. So this layoff epidemic is only getting worse. There's also a lot of people in Cali that are saying that they've lost their jobs as well. So I'm going to be playing you guys just different videos on TikTok, news clips, speaking about these layoffs. Like I said, a lot of people are being affected. So if you have a job, definitely try and keep your job. Do what you have to do. But at this point, these companies are basically looking out for their bottom line and their best interest. They're letting people go. And a lot of these companies are no longer even giving people a severance package. So if you were like the first round of layoffs, you may have gotten a severance package, which is a blessing. But now with a lot of these companies having, second, third, and fourth rounds of layoffs, a lot of people are finding out that they're just fired. They're just getting a pink slip, told to pack up their stuff and go home, and there's no severance, there's nothing. People are applying for unemployment, but they're lucky if they can even get it. So this situation is getting very, very frustrating for a lot of people on social media. So we're going to go ahead and watch some of these clips right now.
Well, we're bringing you breaking news this morning on those John Deere layoffs overnight. The Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Development reported that another round of layoffs is coming to Deere and Company. That's according to the Illinois WorkNet website. Now, this comes ahead of Deere's quarterly earnings call scheduled for this morning at 9 o'clock. And News 8's Joe Haversham is here to break down what we know so far about the layoffs and who they will impact. Joe.
That's right. Good morning. Our newsroom discovered that another round of layoffs are expected to happen. That's again according to the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Development. Now, we are working to find out if these are new cuts or if these are combined with some of the ones from earlier this year. And as far as Iowa Deere employees, the state's warned layoff notification website doesn't list any facilities as being impacted. And new this morning, after reaching out, we received a response from Deere saying that this report is inaccurate. We are now reaching out to the state of Illinois to learn more. And News 8 plans to cover our earnings call in just an hour, and we will plan to provide reactions and responses as that continues to happen.
All right, so you guys just saw that video about John Deere. So like I said, Microsoft is laying off thousands of people and replacing a lot of their workers with AI. They're not dropping Xbox games because of all of the layoffs. So that's causing a lot of controversy online as well. So we're going to go ahead and watch some of that. And then also LinkedIn is laying off people. All of this is happening within the span of just a few days. So I want to just make everybody aware of what's going on.
Microsoft has now canceled the Xbox games after it's laid off more than 15,000 people in the last 2 months. Now, in May, they laid off 6,000 people. And just yesterday here at the start of July, they laid off another 9,000. Now, What did these people get for some of them 10, 15 plus years of service in this? They got a 60-day paid severance. So 2 months in a job market that it traditionally takes 4 to 5 months to get a new job in after working at this employer for 10 to 15 years. And
imagine working for somebody for 10 to 15 years and then getting laid off and there's not a severance, a 2-month severance after 10 to 15 years. And this is why a lot of people say that a lot of these companies are not loyal. They will treat their employees any type of way, get rid of them, and keep on pushing. At the end of the day, it's about the bottom line. It's about corporate greed.
If this does not show you and tell you that you always need to be leveling up your skills, side hustling, that you need to be building your personal brand, that you need to be building your network on LinkedIn, that you need to be going to webinars and conferences in order to make connections in your industry, so that if one company starts to act stupid, you can bounce over to another company that has its stuff together. Now, Microsoft has about 220,000 employees, so this isn't a huge blip on their radar to lay off 15,000 people. And they'll say it was to cut middle management, and they'll say it was because they were going to use AI. But really, it's to make more money and to save more money for the company.
Microsoft layoffs go harder. Termination effective immediately with no severance pay. This is insane. So Microsoft has initiated a wave of performance-based job cuts with affected employees losing their jobs effective immediately and receiving no severance packages, according to termination letters sent to staff. Termination letters obtained by Business Insider state that the employees are being let go because their job performance has not met minimum performance standards and expectations. Impacted workers face immediate removal of access to Microsoft systems, accounts, and buildings. Now, in a particularly strict measure, the company is discontinuing healthcare, prescription, and dental benefits for employees on their final days of work. That's terrible.
That's crazy. So not only are these people being terminated with no severance, because again, this is Microsoft's, like, I think, 4th round of layoffs, but also their healthcare insurance, dental insurance, all of that is cut off. This is why at this point, don't even give a 2-week notice. If you're trying to leave your job, just go, because they do not care about you. And this is just showing it.
Terrible. 3 terminated employees confirmed that they would not receive severance payments, underscoring the company's more stringent approach to performance management. Microsoft went on to say, "You are all relieved of job duties effective immediately." In the termination letters, employees were to return all company property, including car keys, corporate American Express cards, and any Microsoft hardware or software in their possession. The letters also warned that the future employment applications to Microsoft will be evaluated considering past performance and basis of termination, potentially affecting former employees' chances of returning to the company. Now, a Microsoft spokesperson defended the company's actions, stating, "At Microsoft, we focus on high-performance talent."
Microsoft just dropped this bombshell of a report that might make you question your entire career. So they analyzed over 200,000 AI conversations to understand which jobs are least and most at risk of being replaced by AI. The results, though, are not what you might think. So who's most at risk? We have interpreters and translators, historians, customer service representatives, and writers. Basically anyone with a college degree. And who is safest? We have professions like roofers, dishwashers, nursing assistants, and massage therapists. So does this mean we should be telling kids to skip college and learn roofing and plumbing instead? Because think about it. While we are all worried about ChatGPT replacing desk jobs, blue-collar workers are looking more and more like the new elite because AI obviously can't replace manual labor. But here's the thing. This is not about blue-collar versus white-collar. If you look closer at those jobs that are safest, you will see a pattern, which is that those are all jobs that need the human touch. They need real-world problem solving and genuine human connection to survive. So it's things like a massage therapist's healing touch, a roofer's ability to figure out unique buildings, a nurse's compassion. Those are all things that AI can't copy. It's the human stuff. So if you are in a white-collar job, you are not fucked, because here is your game plan. You're going to lean into the human stuff that AI can't do. Build real relationships, develop emotional intelligence, and focus on the work that requires your physical presence. Your future doesn't depend on the type of job you have so much as it depends on being able to be irreplaceably human.
I don't really think that people are sufficiently scared about how this AI boom is literally going to destroy the fabric of the United States as we know it. IBM laid off over 8,000 HR people and replaced them with an AI chat bot. 8,000 humans lost their job directly to AI chatbot. That's 8,000 families that no longer have food to put on the table because they no longer have jobs. That's 8,000 more people with degrees that are on the job market in an already overinflated job market. And that doesn't include all the tens of thousands of jobs that have been eliminated due to AI directly from Meta, Microsoft, and all of the other ones. So it's crazy how so many people are applauding AI, but it is the literal destruction of the American economy as we know it. They're estimating over 20% of the workforce is going to be out of a job directly due to AI.
I wanted to bring this to y'all attention. LinkedIn is having massive layoffs. I don't think you understand what I'm saying right now. LinkedIn is having massive layoffs. The company that's supposed to link you to a job, have you get one and maintain it, is having massive layoffs. What timeline is this? Do y'all not understand how bad this is? The link is broken. The link. What are the employees who even get laid off? Where do they go? What do they upload their resume to? Like literally. This is insane. This is if I'm stuttering because it's hard for me to wrap my head around this. This is like if the NBA was saying, we don't have any more basketballs. What? Who did this? Oh, I know. Well, we know who did it. My God, LinkedIn?
So now I want to talk about all of the Black women that have been laid off as of late. And from what the media is saying, over 300,000 Black women have been laid off over the past few months. So we're going to go ahead and watch some of these clips and hear some of their stories as well.
350,000 Black women lost their job in the first 6 months of this year. But they talk about, the unemployment rate ticked up a little, but it almost doubled for Black people. What DEI was about, Black women who'd achieved a certain amount being taken from their jobs at one time. DEI has never done to America what GCI did. GCI is greedy, corrupt, incompetent white men. They talk about these things in an abstract concept, and if you look at the fact that Black women are the most educated segment of our society, white men are the most uneducated. This was bound to happen. And the fact that there were a lot of Black men and Latin men who helped this happen is something it's hard for me to reconcile.
You know what's really concerning to me is that, he didn't like the jobs report.
Right.
The one that he had touted before when it was in his favor, right? Trump didn't like the jobs report. And so then he fired the head.
350,000 Black women.
Now, what's so sad about this, I'm going to read to you guys some of these comments. It's affecting a lot of Black women. As we all know, Black women are some of the most educated. We have degrees. We're doing our thing. One lady in the comments said the following: I have a bachelor's in biological systems engineering and a master's in civil environment engineering. I got laid off and no one will hire me. It's been months, so I became a Pilates instructor and work for myself, but it's still not enough. And imagine having those two amazing degrees and no one's willing to hire her. And that's the same thing for my family member. Very high up corporate, great degrees, and it's like the job market is just not there. They're not taking people on. It's like folks are getting laid off, especially if you're used to earning a certain amount of money. Those high-paying jobs are no longer there, and it's very, very scary. Another woman named Tawanda said, I was laid off from Tesla last year after 6 years and remember thinking it felt off when I noticed a pattern in who was getting let go. Finding work has been damn near impossible, so I've chosen entrepreneurship. If you can't find a seat at the table, build your own. And yeah, I mean, that's a great thing if you have something to entrepreneur, if you have a passion in that. But some people just want to work a 9 to 5. They just want to work their job. They want to, follow their American dream. We were told if we worked hard, you went to school, got your degree, that you'd be okay. And now we're seeing that that's not the truth at all. So it's really sad that so many Black women are going through this. We're going to watch a few more clips.
I just came to the realization that I'm one of the 300,000. So when I came maybe 2 months ago and told y'all that I was unemployed, I'm switching to entrepreneurship, I was so focused on what was happening to me, I didn't realize that this was literally happening to 300,000 women, black women, across the country. We've been fooled. We've been bamboozled. We were told, get the degrees, get the education, get the experience, be professional, dress a certain way, talk a certain way, and you'll never be without. You'll be able to climb the ladder. They'll never be able to fire you. And
it's like a lot of things that we as black people were told isn't end up being a lie. You know, black women are some of the most educated, and therefore they pose a level of threat to people who feel inferior to themselves. On top of that, you know, it just shows you how much racism came front and center. When it came to laying off, black women are the most laid off around the country. You know, again, I'm showing all aspects of the layoffs that are going on. But black women are currently the most affected, which is very interesting because black women are also the most educated. And a lot of black women have degrees that are nothing to sneeze at. So to see so many educated sisters who know how to carry themselves, who know how to play the game, who know how to code switch, just be laid off, it is sad. It's very sad and infuriating.
Then boom, 300,000 black women lost their jobs in the last 90 days. It doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't sit right with me. I know it's not going to sit right with anyone who listens to this, who has any empathy or understanding of what it means to be a black woman in America. And now we are being targeted. We are being targeted. We have to go into this newly shifted workforce that is minus 300,000 black women and compete with multiple degrees, with years of experience, with all the professionalism in the world. Now we have to go against mediocrity. Yes. And we're overqualified. Wow. How y'all feel about this? Let me know. I just came to the realization that I'm
one of the ladies in the comments says, I'm one. I'm tired and I'm trying to have hope for us. All of this is hard. 21 years experience, degrees, dead, overqualified, now no job, medical or food. I'm already hated, now this. Went from superintendent to being unemployed overnight. So it is real out here. It's so sad. And a lot of black women are going through this right now. And black men too. You know, black men are also being affected. But black women are being affected in the highest numbers.
So I made a video yesterday saying that corporate America does not want black people, especially intelligent and highly educated and capable black women in their space. And many of y'all asked me, like, where should we work? That's the problem right there. You should already know what to do. If you have so much education and so much potential, start your own business. And look, starting a business doesn't have to be a hard task. It's gonna cost you some upfront investment, but you can start a business doing hair out your house, selling plates out your house. If you are a homeowner, you already have a head start. You have a property that's an asset that you can live in that will allow you to run a business out of your house, sell cakes, pies. I mean, black people are so creative.
Now I get what she's saying, but that's if people want to do that. Everybody don't want to sit and bake cakes. Everybody don't want to do hair. Some people want to just, you know what I'm saying, use their degree for what they went to school for, got into debt for, and get a paycheck. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, again, I'm all for entrepreneurship if that's where your heart is, if that's what you really want to do. But that's not for everyone. Everybody doesn't want to run their own company. Being an entrepreneur and working for yourself, it is a lot of work. It is hard. You know what I'm saying? Even people saying, hey, well, I'm about to be a content creator. Yes, you can do that too. But again, them checks are not going to come in overnight. You know, just because you decide to start a TikTok or a YouTube channel doesn't mean you're going to be making, you know, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 the next month. It's going to take a while to build up that fan base, you know, to get the views and everything else. I think what is wrong and what people need to call out is the systemic racism that's going on right now in corporate America. But I get what she's saying, you know, yeah, definitely create your own opportunities if that's where your heart is at. But we also need to understand that everybody doesn't necessarily want to be a boss. Some people just want to use the degrees that they fought hard to get.
Learn how to sew. I mean, there's so much that you can do. I mean, you can start a business refurbishing furniture. There are so many ideas out there. There's so much that you can do.
And then another thing I want to add with that too, I know it sounds so easy. Yeah, you can refurbish furniture and you can do this and that. But if everybody's laid off, who's buying said furniture? If people are struggling to pay their bills, who's buying said cake? Because we got to understand, when you have your own business, you also need clientele. But if everybody's losing their job, you know what I'm saying? Where's the clientele going to come from to be able to support you in your own business? So it's a trickle down effect. You know, I understand the positivity, but I'm also looking at this very, very realistic. Because again, I've told my family member, this person is uber talented, and I'm like, you know, maybe you could do this, maybe you could do that. But again, she could, but it's a lot of, you know, startup money. It's a lot of, you know, just to get everything started. And then again, it's like, even if I go into this particular business for myself, who's going to be the clientele? Who's going to be buying said product?
Do put your skills and your talents to use. Stop selling your soul to corporate America and to a demonic system that doesn't want you anyway, and stop making excuses as to why you can't start your own shit. And what do we do from there? After you start your own shit, you employ other people from your community. This is how you create economic freedom and independence, and you don't have to rely on people to give you an opportunity. You create opportunity.
So I keep seeing all the posts that people are making about the 300,000 black women that have been affected by unemployment. And I'm just here to say that black women, rest is revolutionary. And some of y'all are being forced to rest right now. And I know that that might be uncomfortable because we continue to strive, we continue to achieve, we continue to do things and break mold and break barriers and burst through ceilings in spite of, right? But I'm telling y'all that if there's ever a time that you need to trust who we've always proven ourselves to be, it's right now. Some of you black women are the missing puzzle pieces to somebody else's full picture. Some of y'all need to start the companies. Some of y'all need to take your talents into your friend groups and expand these ideas that you've always had. Some of y'all might have never taken the leap to do those things if you weren't released from the shackles of corporate America. But one thing about black women that I know to be true, we are resourceful, we are resilient, and y'all gonna make something out of nothing every single time. And I know you might be tired, but take this moment of rest and rest, because rest is revolutionary. You deserve it, sister.
Why aren't more people talking about how 300,000 black women were laid off from their corporate jobs recently? I didn't even know this was a thing until I posted a video that I got laid off, and then a bunch of the comments were like, yeah, it's a war on black women right now. There's so many getting laid off. And I still didn't believe it, so I checked, and there's literally a whole Forbes article on this. Like, this is so scary and concerning.
So I hear there's a war on black women, and we are getting fired in mass numbers or laid off. And I'm just here to say that I also got laid off earlier this summer from a job that I was completely qualified to have, and the person whom I was probably more qualified than, he gets to still keep his job. And meanwhile, I'm here now forced to be a statistic collecting unemployment while I try to find another position that will provide me with a living wage. And I just want to clarify that I have put myself through college twice. I've also done 2 long-term unpaid internships, which means that I went into an office full-time and did not get paid. And I did that twice to advance myself in my career. I'm also a published best-selling author, and I've won awards in my field. And yet, here I am amongst the other black, qualified, educated women, unemployed. So what's going on? What is going on?
Did you know over 300,000 black women have lost their jobs in just the last 3 months? It's not just a statistic, it's reshaping the economy. Since the Trump administration's cuts to the federal workforce, black women, who make up a large portion of federal workers, have been hit the hardest. In 1 month alone, over 266,000 black women lost their jobs, and now that number is closer to about 318,000. We're not talking about just a paycheck here. These are pathways to stability, healthcare, retirement. These are careers that are taking care of households. When this many workers lose their jobs, it doesn't just affect them. It slows spending in local communities, increases reliance on social programs, and widens the racial wealth gap. Federal jobs have historically been a lifeline for Black middle-class communities. Losing this many federal workers creates a ripple effect in housing, education, and even small businesses.
I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. As somebody that was laid off as a DevOps engineer back in February, I have absolutely no desire to be a DevOps engineer ever again in the corporate world. I don't want to do it. I have enjoyed the career that I had and the time that I had and the skills that I've gained and the experiences that I got to experience and the money that I made. It was amazing. But what I will say is that as somebody that's been laid off twice, I'm not going to give corporate a third time to lay me off again. Now, I understand that there's no guarantee because obviously I have DevOps skills and I could go back into corporate again, but there's no guarantee that I wouldn't be let go. And I think that's why I'm at a stage in my life where I'm kind of having like a last hurrah moment where I want to give my all to building Sensim because it's an idea that I've had on my heart for a very long time. And one thing that I've hated about working in corporate is that corporate puts you in a box that you have to fit. And I genuinely don't care about meeting the KPIs for these people that have the power to literally make me unemployed like that. I just don't want to give another organization that opportunity, especially when you put me through 4, 5, 6 rounds of interviews just for you to disrespect me like that. No. I'm at a point where I'm going to give my all, honestly, a last hurrah in terms of building Sensim and putting that out there because that app is something that I really want to see living and existing and helping people because it's an app I've always wanted for myself to support neurodivergent people. But once I'm done with that, if you see me and I'm not a DevOps engineer and I'm doing something completely different, mind your business.
I recently learned that 300,000 Black women were displaced due to the economy, layoffs, all sorts of different things. And me being one of those Black women, I wanted to send a message out today that we're not worried. Because in all of the chaos, we find clarity, we find calm. And what someone might see as displacement, we see discovery. We find new ways to do things. In the madness that everyone else sees as crazy, we find a mission. We find our mission. In rejection, we see revolution. How can we change ourselves over again to make our situations better? I'm not worried about me, and I'm not worried about other Black women, because what do I know about Black women? We do the best work a lot of times when our back is against the wall. I want to encourage Black women today because I fully expect for us to rise like a phoenix, and not only that, for us to do again what we've done in history over and over again.
What I'm trying to say is at the end of the day, your retirement needs to come first with this economy, because if they're laying off Black women as well as deporting immigrants, those positions that they usually hold is very hard to hire people at because they genuinely don't make that much. And so they're going to start having to import or figuring out another way to get these things done, which I feel like is going to increase how much we're paying for things. Inflation is already a thing. It's just going to keep going up. And so that is a strong indicator. So you can't be frivolous with your money. Focus on retirement.
I've been laid off for my tech job. I don't know how to feel about this situation. And me doing this is such a vulnerable thing that I'm doing, because one thing, coming from an African home, you don't put your dirty laundry out there or that you went through a hardship. I put so much effort, so much time, late nights, weekends, finding mentors. I put so much of my resource, my blood, my sweat, my tears. It all came to an end 2 weeks ago. When I got the phone call, I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know if I should cry. Should I cheer? Should I be happy? Should I be worried? I didn't know how to feel at the moment. I told my friends, I told my therapist. All of them called me and was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm okay." A couple months before it happened, I questioned myself and my position. Oh, shit. Myself, questioned my position, and asked myself, is this something that I can see myself doing long term? And I already knew the answer to it, and it was no. No, I didn't see myself, but I was not ready to let go. And so one thing I've learned is that if you don't let go, it's going to let you go. I just feel like my job had to be taken away from me because I started losing sight of my purpose of moving out here to this new city. And so now I'm free and I'm starting over. And I want to document this journey. I want to look back at this when I'm that girl. I mean, I'm already that girl, but when I'm it girl, and be like, I'm proud of you. We did it. And I want to take you guys along this journey.
It is day 4 of me being laid off from my EdTech role in nonprofit due to budget cuts in the Trump administration. So today is officially my last day on the job. Now, the other days I had some sick time that I would not get paid out for that I needed to use, so I used it for wellness. But today is officially my last day. And can y'all believe that they have a 3-hour training on my calendar where I lead it to train employees on the learning management system that I built for the organization.
Damn, that is crazy. So you gonna fire her and then want her to do a 3-hour training? We'd be in that bitch watching TikTok videos.
I created all of the courses in there, me. And they want me to train people on how to do my job that I am no longer gonna be there to do, that I was laid off. Can y'all believe that? I don't have the mental capacity to sit there today and do it. And I'm not. I'm gonna decline it and let them know that I have other things, other jobs that I am looking forward to. But these jobs.
To the economy now, where staggering numbers have been released surrounding Black women in the labor force. A new report shows more than 300,000 Black women have left the workforce in just the last several months. That's according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Joining me now is gender economist Katika.
They need to fix that word. They didn't leave. These women were forced out. They were laid off. Big difference.
Roy, to break this all down and why they're leaving. Katika, thank you so much for being with us. You recently wrote an article where you say that this isn't happening by accident. Why do you think it is happening?
This is happening because of cuts to public sector positions. So if you look at the federal labor force, Black women make up just over 12% of the federal labor force. It's about double their representation in the labor force overall. And when you have targeted cuts up to 50% in organizations such as the Department of Education and HHS, you're not just trimming the fat, you're actually cutting the economic backbone for Black women.
Wow. And so what are some of the spillover effects from all of this?
Well, one of the things that we know is that there is a connection between women's labor force participation and GDP. So just Black women's labor force participation has dropped by just over 2% in the last 3 months.
I want to get into the staggering numbers of over 300,000 Black women who are left unemployed. 6.1% as of today, in comparison to their white counterparts or any other demographic or nationality. Black women are losing their jobs at a skyrocketing rate. This is astounding. We need to be talking about this. We need to be looking into this data thoroughly, and we need to put our thinking caps together to talk about solutions to soften the blow, because Black women as a whole, it's looking pretty strategic on how they're targeting our community.
Hey, y'all. So over 300,000 Black women lost their jobs this year. That's not just a number. That's an earthquake. When you try to push a Black woman down, you don't bury her. You fuel her. You give her fire. Please understand this. Now, yes, I'm still employed, but I carry my sisters with me every single day. When one of us is hit, we all feel it. However, when 300 plus thousand of us are hit, the world better pay attention.
These corporate layoffs are getting out of hand. Microsoft just laid off, like 9,000 employees? And I need to do some more research on why that is or what they're investing in. I imagine it's probably more data centers for AI, whatever the case may be. But overall, we're seeing layoffs in various industries. And if I'm being honest, I think companies are starting to go back to a more performance-based work culture. It's simple. If you're not hitting your numbers, you're probably going to get let go. Especially with implementations of AI. If you're not doing the work that you should be doing and hitting your numbers, and somebody else is exceeding expectations just by utilizing AI or other tools, then it doesn't make sense for the company to keep you. Now, let's be clear. I'm not saying that this is for all layoffs that are happening. But from what I've seen and from talking to my colleagues, they have experienced the same thing and have seen people who tell them the reasons why they got laid off.
Wait, please don't scroll. Please, can you just give me a couple of minutes of your time, just a few minutes? I just need for everyone to try and help me out, if you would, please, possibly. I have been recently just let go from my job. I was laid off. I was on a list of several people from the company that I work for, United Healthcare, which will probably send signals all over the place. I was let go and I was laid off where I have been on this job for 13 years. Now, I don't want to be on here begging, and I'm not asking anybody for any money or anything. I want to make up the difference and work for it. So what I'm asking you to do is please engage with this video. Do all of the things from the bottom up. Can you repost, like, share, watch all the way through? Because I need to make as much money as possible so that I can make up for the difference for the money that I won't be getting until I can get another income. I know that the economy is in really bad shape right now and everybody is going through everything. I know this. And so I'm trying, and I will not, unless I have to, ask for any government assistance or get anything from anybody, ask anything from anybody. I want to make it on my own. And if I can come on here and ask that you would please just engage and help me to blow this video up so that I can get the money that I need until it holds me over until I get another job.
All right, so you guys just saw some of those videos. So it is getting real out here. Lots of layoffs happening, including Black women being laid off. But tea sippers, I'll leave the conversation up to you guys. Let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Let me know what you guys think about this. Have you been laid off recently? Are you looking for work? Have you been seeing this with, family members, close friends getting laid off? So I look forward to reading y'all's comments down below. Please hit the video with a like. Feel free to share this video, and I'll talk to y'all later. Deuces.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.